You start your life as a tiny seed buried in the cold, damp dirt of a farmer's field, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. No warm welcome, no sunlight, just the suffocating darkness of soil pressing down on you from all sides. Congratulations, you're a broccoli, and your journey is about to be one giant green nightmare. For days, you sit there waiting for something to happen, feeling the weight of the earth like it's trying to crush your dreams before they even start. Finally, a trickle of water seeps through the soil and you feel a tiny spark of life. A root begins to push its way out of your shell. You're sprouting. But let's not get too excited. This is just the beginning of why it sucks to be you. You're a week old now, a fragile little seedling poking your head above the soil for the first time. The sunlight feels like a slap in the face after all that time underground. And the wind, oh, the wind, is a relentless bully, whipping you back and forth like you owe it money. You're surrounded by hundreds of other broccoli seedlings, all fighting for the same patch of sunlight, water, and nutrients. It's a cutthroat world out here, and you're barely a few centimeters tall. The farmer walks by, inspecting his crop, and you hear him mutter something about thinning the field. Before you can process what that means, he yanks out the seedling next to you, roots and all, and tosses it aside. Like it's nothing. You're left trembling in the dirt, realizing you just narrowly escaped being compost. At 1 month old, you've grown into a small broccoli plant with a few leaves that you're pretty proud of. You're starting to feel like you might actually survive this, until the pests show up. A swarm of aphids descends on the field like a tiny green army, sucking the life out of your leaves faster than you can grow them. You can't run, you can't hide, and you definitely can't fight back. All you can do is sit there, feeling your energy drain as they feast on you like you're an all-you-can-eat buffet. Just when you think it can't get worse, a caterpillar the size of your stem starts chewing through your leaves, leaving gaping holes that make you look like a piece of Swiss cheese. The farmer sprays some pesticide, which gets rid of the bugs, but leaves you feeling like you've just been doused in toxic rain. Great, you're still alive, but at what cost? You're 3 months old now, and you've finally started to form your florets, the little green buds that make you a broccoli. You're feeling a bit more confident, thinking maybe you're destined for greatness, like being the star of someone's healthy dinner plate. But then the weather turns on you. A heat wave hits, and the sun scorches your leaves, turning them yellow and crispy. You're desperate for water, but the farmer's irrigation system is spotty at best, and you're left wilting under the relentless heat. Just as you're recovering from that, a late frost rolls in, freezing your tender florets and making them droop like they've given up on life. You're starting to realize that nature doesn't care about your dreams of being a perfect vegetable. At 4 months, you're fully grown, or at least as grown as you're going to get. Your florets are tight and green, and you're feeling like you've made it through the worst of it. But then the farmer comes with his knife. You hear the snip of his blade as he cuts down the broccoli next to you, and before you can brace yourself, he's at your stem. One quick slice and you're severed from your roots, tumbling into a rough wooden crate with a bunch of other broccoli heads. The ride to the market is bumpy and cramped, and you're jostled around like you're in some kind of vegetable mosh pit. By the time you arrive, you're bruised. A few of your florets have fallen off, and you're starting to wonder if this is what you fought so hard for. You're on display at the grocery store now, sitting under harsh fluorescent lights that make you feel like you're being interrogated. Shoppers poke and prod at you, turning you over in their hands, muttering things like, "too small," or "not fresh enough." You want to scream that you survived aphids, caterpillars, heat waves, and frosts to get here, but you're a broccoli. You don't get a say. Finally, a tired-looking mom throws you into her cart, and you're on your way to what you hope is a dignified end. But when you get to her kitchen, she doesn't even bother to cook you properly. She boils you for so long that you turn into a mushy, overcooked mess. Your once vibrant green, now a sad grayish hue. Her kids push you around on their plates, whining, "I don't like broccoli," before scraping you into the trash. As if that wasn't bad enough, as you sit in the garbage bin surrounded by coffee grounds and banana peels, you hear the tearing sound of the garbage bag as the mother tosses it into a container outside. Now you're buried with an assortment of disgusting waste, rotting meat scraps, dirty diapers, and some mysterious liquid leaking from the bottom of the bag. In the suffocating darkness, as you wait for the garbage truck, you begin to decompose, your foul smell mixing with the other odors in a symphony of rot. Then comes the garbage truck, loud and terrifying, lifting you with thousands of other bags and throwing you into its metallic belly. You're compressed and crushed with other waste, seemingly tortured until the end. Then finally, the last grace, the landfill. You're thrown from a height, rolling down a mountain of garbage, settling among other things nobody wants. As you lie there under the scorching sun and hungry birds pecking at the garbage around you, you can't help but reflect on your life. You started as a hopeful seed, fought through every obstacle nature threw at you. And for what? To be overcooked, rejected, and thrown away without a second thought. You slowly decompose, your nutrients returning to the earth to maybe, just maybe, help another broccoli seed grow someday. But let's be real. That doesn't make you feel any better. Life as a broccoli? Yeah, it really sucked. But that's not the end of the story. What you didn't know is that a small piece of your root remained in the ground when the farmer cut you. And while most of you went to a horrific fate, this tiny piece started growing again. Yes, this is the final tragedy of broccoli. Even when you die, you might be forced to live again, to suffer through the same painful cycle over and over. And in a new season, there you are again, a small, desperate seedling trying to grow in a cruel world that doesn't care about your existence. Rain, wind, pests, harvest, store, kitchen, garbage, an endless cycle of vegetable torment. Because that's the bitter truth. If you're a broccoli, you're doomed to repeat the same miserable fate, either as a new seed or a renewed growth in a merciless farm run by only one farmer. Cruel destiny. So the next time you see a beautiful green head of broccoli at the grocery store, remember that it's been through enough. Perhaps, just perhaps, if you eat it with appreciation and gratitude, you can give it a more dignified end than it would have known otherwise. Because ultimately, the only thing worse than being a broccoli is being a broccoli that nobody wants.